Hey guys, Adam here with AmericanTrucks.com. Today we're taking a look at, listening to, and installing the DB Performance by Corsa single side exit exhaust system for your 2015 to 2018 3.5 liter EcoBoost F150, excluding those Raptor models. Now, if you're the owner of that 3.5 EcoBoost, you might be in the market for a new catback system, something that changes the volume from the stock sound, which, listen, we all know could use some help, to something that has a deeper, more aggressive note without going too overboard, while reducing all of the interior drone. Now, as you heard from our sound clips here, this is a step up from stock, but not too far away from the stock sound clip. Now, this DB Performance by Corsa option is one of the top quality systems on the market as far as construction, full 304 stainless steel, which we'll take a look at sitting next to our factory system in just a little bit. Those sound clips you heard definitely give it a deeper note, something a little more aggressive in the aftermarket world, but it doesn't go too overboard. And I'm giving this a soft 3 out of 5 on our loudness meter. Now, obviously, there are going to be several exhausts on the market, especially ones from Corsa, that really beef up more volume. This is just focused on tone. It's got a deep tone, the turbo really likes it. It's got a lot of turbo noise, especially with those windows down on low cruising speeds. This is gonna be a good option for those guys just looking to keep it very street tameable. If you're looking for something that allows you to have a nice conversation in the truck, listen to some music without a lot of drone inside, this is a really good system for you. Plus, it comes with that 4-inch slash-cut polished stainless steel tip, which is light years better than our factory tip, which basically didn't have a tip. So this is a huge upgrade in that department. And again, we'll look closely at that later on. As far as the install is concerned, you can expect to get this done in about 2 to 3 hours, maybe a little more if you're working on the ground. We've got a lift and a pole jack, which makes our lives a little easier. But if you're working on the ground in the driveway at home or the garage, make sure you have a hydraulic jack and a couple of jack stands to help with support. The whole thing will come down in one piece, so if you're working on the ground, cutting it would obviously be a lot easier, but you don't have to take it that route, and I'll show you why in just a little bit here. Now, 1 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter. Simple hand tools get the job done, like a ratchet and simple socket set. Again, jack and jack stands, obviously that goes without saying. Now, if you want to pick the system up for yourself, it's just about 800 bucks, so it is a little bit more on the premium end, which is what we expect from Corsa because this is such a high quality system. Now, without further ado, I want to show you how this gets done, so let's get to it. The tools needed for this install will be a pry bar, PB blaster or WD-40, hanger removal tool, a mallet, ratchet, 13mm deep socket, 15mm deep socket. All right, to kick off the uninstall of our factory exhaust on our EcoBoost, the first thing you want to pick up is a ratchet and a deep 15mm socket, as well as a hanger removal tool. Now, the hanger removal tool you can rent at any of your local auto parts stores. It'll absolutely help you since we have a couple of hangers we'll have to disconnect in order to drop our system. Now, the whole thing drops in one solid piece. Now, I'm working on a lift, as you can see, and using a pole jack at the trailer hitch for support. But if you're working on the ground, it'll be a little bit more difficult. It could be easier for you to cut the system in half if you know you're not going to be using it again in the future. If not, you might want to just be a little careful getting it up in the air and dropping the whole thing in one piece. I would definitely recommend a helping hand if that's the route you're going. Now, with us on the lift here, it makes our lives a little easier. I'm going to use my 15mm deep socket to disconnect the clamp right behind our factory muffler. Then I'll use the hanger removal tool to pop them out of the hangers and drop it all down together. So let's get to it. There's only one bolt we have to tackle here, and it's this factory clamp right behind our muffler on our catalytic converter side. Now, the bolt head is on my side toward the drive shaft here, so there is very little room we're working with, but we've got a ratchet and a deep 15mm socket. Broke that loose, got some PB blaster on there. I definitely recommend having PB blaster or WD-40 on hand just to loosen up these factory bolts, which can tend to get a little rusty and sticky every now and then. A little elbow grease, crack that loose, and we'll get this thing off. Now that that's loosened up here, we can tackle all of our hangers. Next up, there's 4 hangers we have to remove from the factory isolators. That's where the hanger removal tool comes into play. The pipe end here is going to go on the tip of the exhaust hanger, whereas the fork will go right around it and we'll push them out. Now, this is, again, one of those tools I recommend picking up to make your life a lot easier. After you hit them with PB blaster or WD-40, you can pop them off. All right, guys, we finally got our factory exhaust off of our EcoBoost and on the floor here, sitting next to the DB Performance by Corsa catback. As you can see, there are very clear differences between the two systems, mainly with the muffler system. Now, they're about the same size here, but this is more of a bullet style straight through muffler, which gives us that volume and that unique sound that we just heard. The entire kit here is a polished 304 stainless steel, which is the top quality exhaust material you can get on the market. 304 stainless is the best option, especially for the guys out there on the East Coast like we are, seeing a lot of road salt during those wintry weather months. That can definitely corrode and take a toll on your factory exhaust, which again, coming off of 2016, doesn't have tons of mileage on it, but after a while that can definitely corrode, and that's not going to be the case as quickly here with the 304 stainless. Working our way down, we can see a 3-inch mandrel bent tubing, which gives us a better exhaust flow from head to toe, meaning a little bit more power and a better sound. You can see the hangers are in the same factory locations, although this one, not welded to the muffler itself, it's welded to the pipe, still goes in the same location. Coming out the end of it, you'll see the 4-inch polished 304 stainless steel tip, which is a huge upgrade over our factory option that didn't come with a tip at all. Stylistically, this is going to look a lot better on our 16 EcoBoost than the factory one, simply because not only it has a tip, it's got that DB name embedded in the materials there, as well as the polished finish. So without further ado, I want to show you guys how this gets installed, so let's get to it. Now it's time to install the DB Sport by Corsa exhaust. So what we're going to do is start with our muffler. Now, as you can see, the twin hangers there are going to go right into those factory isolator spots, and this is going to slide right over the factory extension pipe. So let's start there, we'll work our way back and then tighten down our bolts. All right guys, so as you can see, with the muffler in place, this entire thing sags down pretty low. We don't want that to happen. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a pole jack underneath it. Because I'm working on a lift, I'm able to do that. So I'll put the pole jack at the end of this muffler, and I'll jack it up so that it supports the weight there. And then I'll bolt everything down at the end once I have everything adjusted to where I need them to be. If you're working on the ground, a simple floor jack would definitely do the same thing, or a hydraulic jack could definitely make things easier as well. So I'm gonna put this in place and then get to work on the overaxle pipe. All right, we got everything in place. All hangers are in their proper isolators. We got the clamps in place. Now the last piece of the puzzle is gonna be this U-clamp. Now this is gonna go right after our muffler on the tip side here. All right, we're gonna grab our 15mm deep socket, tighten down these nuts. All right, the last step of the process here before we move on to capping the project off with the tip is gonna be this band clamp here right behind our muffler. So let's get to it with our 15mm socket. The last piece of the puzzle here is going to be our 4-inch slash cut tip to cap off that single side exit design here. Now we've got our 13mm socket to tighten down the one bolt holding this on, so let's put it in place. Now we don't want to go too far in because it'll be tucked underneath of your bumper here, so we're going to make sure that it's just a couple of inches in from where you put it right against the overaxle pipe. So I'm going to get my 13 deep socket, tighten this down. All right, with that bolt tightened down, that's gonna wrap up my review and install of the DB Performance by Corsa Sport 3-inch single side exit exhaust system, which you can get for your own 1518 3.5 EcoBoost F150, excluding the Raptor, right here at AmericanTrucks.com.